Hi everyone, Dustin here from lawatyourside.com. And did you get injured at work? Go to the doctor that the insurance company told you to go to. That doctor does an analysis and says, you know what, I think you need an MRI, maybe for your back or some other part of body. That doctor sends a request to the insurance company, says, this injured worker here needs an MRI, and the insurance company comes back and denies the request from their own workers' comp doctor. Did that happen to you? It happens a lot of times to a lot of people, and today I'm going to explain to you the utilization review process and how to beat it. So why on earth would a workers' comp insurance carrier deny a medical treatment request from their own doctors in their own medical provider network? Was the law changed? This thing called utilization review became enacted. And why they did that was because insurance companies were scared, or they got tired of doctors providing treatment to injured workers, and there was no sort of threshold or regulation on the doctors, and they got scared that the doctors were just over-treating the patients and billing the insurance companies for unnecessary medical treatment. So they pressured the legislature, and the legislature passed a bill that says any medical treatment requests now have to be submitted on a request for authorization form, and this form has to be submitted to the insurance carrier. So now anytime the doctor wants to treat you for anything, like physical therapy, MRIs, x-rays, surgery, they got to fill out this form. It's called the request for authorization, and they have to send that over to the insurance company. So here's what happens. The insurance company adjuster gets a request for authorization, and they can do one of two things. They can approve it. They have the authority to approve it. Say, yeah, I'm going to approve it, send it back to the doctor, and the doctor will schedule whatever treatment was requested. But many times what they do is they take it and they're supposed to send it to this entity called utilization review. Utilization review are these doctors out in who knows where. So this utilization review doctor looks at everything and they say yes or they say no. By the way, they have a financial incentive, at least in the past they did, to say no. They could have get financially compensated based on the amount of money that they save the insurance companies. That's absolutely ridiculous, but it's something that was allowed. I think the new laws kind of changed that a little bit, but they had a financial incentive to say no. So they send it back to the insurance adjuster or straight to the doctor, and you should get a copy as well. And it'll say your MRI or your physical therapy has been denied, and it's got a whole bunch of list of reasons. Some of them probably completely arbitrary onto why it got denied. So that is why they are denying your medical treatment request. Now, I'm going to give you 4 ways that we like to do to try to beat those denials. So the first one is to file what's called an IMR Appeal. It's called an Independent Medical Review Appeal. Now, the applications for independent medical review usually are attached to the back of a denial. So you'll get a bunch of pages, like 10 to 15 pages. It'll say your treatment request has been denied. If you want to appeal, here's the appeals process. And it has this page called Independent Medical Review. Now, what happens with independent medical review is we fill out an application, we send it to this other entity with some of the medical records, and independent medical review is even more arbitrary. It goes to some doctor that we don't know who it is, don't know their name, don't know where they are. They take the records, they're sitting in an office somewhere, maybe in the Midwest, who knows, and they get it and they say, you know what, I'm also going to deny this. I'm going to confirm the initial denial, I'm also going to deny this, because they also have a financial incentive to do so. It's been said that about 90% or more of independent medical review appeals uphold the utilization review appeals, meaning 90% of the time when we send it to IMR, independent medical review, the denial still gets upheld. So why do we do it? We do it just to do it because, 9 times out of 10 it's denied, but maybe that 1 time out of 10 it will get overturned, and that has happened sometimes. Also, one of the reasons we do it is because it puts some more pressure on the insurance company, because the insurance company has to pay them to do the review. They have to pay for the records to be sent over there. So it puts a little more pressure on them. Sometimes the denials for something like medication. So when we file the appeal to independent medical review, the insurance company just says, okay, fine, we'll approve it. It costs us more to try to fight this denial than just to approve this medication or this treatment request. So that's one technique we like to do. Second thing that can be done is to check the timeliness of the utilization review denial. So here's how that works. So once the doctor sends the request for authorization to the insurance adjuster, they have 5 business days to get it over to utilization review, and for utilization review to come back with their acceptance or denial of the treatment request. 5 business days usually does not count the weekends, so typically it's going to be 7 days, but they have 5 business days to make that decision and communicate it to the doctor and to the lawyer, which is us, and to even you if you are going through the workers' comp process on your own. They are supposed to send you a letter and a copy as well. So what we do is we try to see if they made an untimely decision. So what happens with that is the doctor will send a request. On the utilization review on the top, usually it'll say the date the request was received and the date the decision was made. And if those dates are not within 5 business days of each other, we now have an untimely request. So what we do with that is we have the opportunity to take this and say, you know what, we don't have to go through this utilization review process anymore. We can now go to the workers' comp court to try to get this treatment approved. So we can file for a hearing and request insurance, hey, you untimely submitted this utilization review and untimely made your decision. Please approve the treatment request. If they don't do it, we can go to the judge, and the judge can then make the decision whether the treatment is reasonable and necessary or not reasonable and necessary. Couple complications with that. One is the judges sometimes will just defer to utilization review's decision. Even though it was untimely, they'll say, yeah, it's maybe untimely, but it's still not reasonable medical. Another issue with that is the doctors will usually say, oh, I sent it to the insurance company on this day, and the insurance company says, no, we never got it, or we got it a week later, or something like that. They always like to try to confuse the issue and create confusion. The doctors sometimes don't have proofs of service, so we don't know exactly when the doctor sent it, other than them telling us that they sent it on a certain day. So we really have to rely on the dates that are put on the utilization review. But insurance companies aren't known for necessarily always being the most honest and open about it. So those dates are not 100% trustworthy, especially if they know something was untimely made. There's no way to guarantee that they're being honest about the dates that they received it and the dates the decision was made. Again, confusion tends to be their friend. It's not your friend, but it is an issue that comes up. It's something that we look for and we try to fight it when it's available. Option number 3, go to a state or a neutral doctor, a QME or an AME. This is our favorite option. So the insurance company is denying all these treatment requests. What we do is we get you sent to a state or neutral doctor, AME or QME, and a lot of times that doctor will will look at you, look at all the records and say, yeah, I need this MRI. And sometimes they'll just schedule it right then and there. They'll maybe do it in their own office, or they'll schedule it a week later at a facility that they use. A lot of times insurance companies pre-authorize any of this treatment that the doctor's going to need. So what they'll do is they'll just send you out, they'll just do the MRI, get it done with. We don't even have to deal with the utilization review process anymore. That's something we like to do. It happens a lot of the time that the doctors will just do the treatment. Now, a lot of times doctors may not do the treatment, the AME or QME doctor may not do the treatment, but they will recommend the treatment be done. They'll issue a report and they'll say, you know what, I still need MRIs. I can't issue a final report until you get me these MRIs. So insurance adjuster, approve the MRIs, and then I'll get you the final report. And then that puts a lot of pressure on the insurance company, because if you still need treatment and you still need MRIs, guess what? They still have to pay out benefits until those are done. So a lot of times they'll just approve the MRI just to get it done with and get that final report from that state or that neutral doctor. So that's a technique we like to do, and it works really well. Now, if you go to the state or the neutral doctor and that doctor also says, you know what, I don't think an MRI is needed, Then we sort of have an uphill battle because we've got two doctors now saying you don't really need an MRI, the state or neutral doctor and the utilization review process. So it's maybe you don't really need that MRI if you have both of these doctors saying that it's not needed, or maybe both those doctors are just really bad and they're not doing a good job in terms of medical care. Technique number 4, and it's not the best technique, but it's something that works for some clients, is just get the treatment on your own. If you have your own health insurance, great, and we need an MRI, just go get the MRI. I know you've got to pay some deductible out of pocket or whatnot, but if you have the financial means to do it and you have your own health insurance, just go do it. Sometimes health insurance carriers say, oh, it's a workers' comp case, I don't want to touch it. Sometimes they just do it. I think if you just go in there and say, hey, I need an MRI in my back, sometimes facilities will just do the MRI as long as your health insurance has approved it. So we've had some clients do that who are a little bit more capable of doing it, and it makes things a lot easier. And it comes back and shows a huge disc bulge, and then we can send that to the state doctor or whoever and make an argument that, hey, there's a real injury here. You guys didn't prove the MRI, but the MRI clearly shows there's a real injury here. So that's another technique as well. So those are the 4 ways we like to attack the utilization review process, and we found that many times we're able to get through it one way or the other. So thank you so much for watching that video. If this video helps you, please click the like button below and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want a free consultation or for us to help you on your workers' comp case, please give us a call at the number below and we'll be more than happy to discuss it with you.